very, very good way. Is it her fault? And by the way, did all of you catch her show on how to get an analytics job? Or it's not her show. She appeared on it. Okay, good. You do want to watch it because Gio's brilliant. Thank you. All right. Thanks, Ugo. By the
Thank
way,
you, Tom.
hey, you're welcome, sister. Um, I'm not sure all of you know this, and Hugo, I want you to know it. Yes. Um, I see is that your son or daughter? I didn't see enough to tell. Is that your son or daughter?
It's my first son, and he won't just let me be.
He's
Hey,
welcome to join us. So if I can, I've been trying to introduce my friends to one child at a time. Oh, no. Abby, yes, come here. This is my baby biological daughter.
I just woke up.
She's the one she's living across the country from us on a volleyball scholarship, but she's home for spring break. These are your aunts, uncles, and siblings.
Nice to meet you all.
So that's the one kid I get to introduce. But Hugo, what I was trying to say is I have 3 children from Liberia, Africa. So I'm part African. Hey, Karen, good to see you. Yes, thank you. Thank you. All right. Thank you. Yes, we're live in YouTube, and it usually doesn't matter anyway. We're still crazy. Just some housekeeping matters for those of you that are new. And by the way, we might be a little low on attendance today. That's fine. There's just some people that love to be here that had some personal things, so we will miss them. Some of them watch the replay anyway. But in our steward team meeting, because we see ourselves as your servants, and we see the Spirit more together leading us, because that's seriously who we want to be, what we want to be like. But the reason we do this the way we do it is because we know we can mentor everyone better than one person trying to mentor everyone. So all of us mentor all of us. And we just do the best we can. We give what we have. But we know we're not perfect, guys. Even if we were a joining of the best mentors on the planet, we couldn't be perfect. And we know this. And we know there's needs we haven't got to yet. But here's our spirit. We figure it's better to cover certain topics that we all really need to grow in thoroughly than trying to get through a lot of topics minimally very fast. And we are trying to do the best job of triaging, go through the topics that are most needed. So I just wanted y'all to know that we accept that we're not perfect. Now, Gio, would you please just do a little announcement about what you have upcoming, or do you want to, or have you done enough on the Slack work group? Do you want to give a little announcement of what you have upcoming with your workshop, or should we move on? It's up to you.
Yeah, I can share here to explain a little. I don't know if you have read about the I Am Remarkable workshop. I did a post about that. I Am Remarkable workshop is a very nice workshop that allows you to be part of, to learn how to develop your skill of self-promotion. And I have to say that when I followed this workshop more than 1 year, no, 2 years ago, because I'm lost with this last year that we passed through COVID. And it's very, very, very nice. So I am part of the team of facilitators, and I would like to organize a workshop for our community. So we, in the steward team, we have talked about this possibility, and this workshop will be on Friday 19th at 2 p.m. European time and 6:30 p.m. Indian time, and in your time, some I don't remember what is the time.
That should get everyone else there. Let's see. After the time change, guys, this would mean that it would be 7 a.m. USA Mountain Time. I'll type that in the chat too. I'm doing this for y'all. And then that would make it also, of course, 9 a.m. Eastern Time in the US. So I just put it all there. And
Thank you so much, Tom.
yeah.
Yeah, because we had another schedule, but we are going to, thanks to deep learning AI, we have the Zoom to do that. So the schedule that was free was that one. So this is a limited, the slots are limited because it's a workshop that everybody has to participate. And some of the rules of this workshop, because this is a Google initiative, and because we need to cover all the topics and we need to follow a methodology. I have to tell you that if you follow all the process, you are going to change your mindset about the self-promotion. So we are going to share with you a form to register in this workshop. But as this workshop is like a slot limited, so we only have a number of people that can participate. You are going to fill this form, and then we are going to confirm your participation, because we are going just to accept to the first people who fill the form. And then if other people wants to do this workshop, you are going to be in a waiting list for, if we arrive to the number of the people to do another workshop, we are going to organize another workshop in some weeks. In that way, we can cover the people who cannot do this in this first workshop. But while I can do it, so I am happy to share this experience with you. But as I told you, there are some rules. The rules are like if we start at 2 p.m. in my time zone, in your time zone is another schedule. We can just let you get into the room in the Zoom call. We can just wait for you, not more than 10 minutes. So after these 10 minutes, unfortunately, we cannot admit you. This is part of the rules of this workshop. Please be patient about that. Another thing is that everyone who participates on this workshop has to have the video camera on during the call, because it's part of the methodology. And another well, okay, see, while we are developing the workshop, you have problem with your connection and you have to turn off your camera, don't worry. But at least in some part of the workshop, we need to see you participating. And another thing that is important is that please, when you fill the form, be sure that you can attend the workshop. In that way, we can give opportunity to people who can fit in this schedule. Because I know now Tom has said 7 a.m. is so early for some of you, or maybe 9 a.m. is like you have to work because it's Friday. So don't worry, we are going to have another workshop if we have the number of people. I'm sure that you are going to register this workshop, not for me, because it's the most important, is the self-promotion skill that we are going to develop together. And so this is the workshop. I think before finishing this session, I'm going to put the link on our chat, and then please, if you are sure that you can attend, you can fill it from today. Then I'm going to put it on our channel, and let's see how it's going. It's a great experience. So thank you so much in advance for being part of this workshop.
Awesome. Thanks, Gio, for giving that announcement. And I was just trying, you might want to review my comments while you were speaking for accuracy.
Okay, it's just a question. A question is this. Okay, this is some. Thank you so much for your question, Kalian. This session, part of the methodology, is it can be recorded because it's a private session. The people who is going to attend is going to understand why it's private. So this session is not to be recorded. In general, these sessions of I Am Remarkable are private. You are not going to find any video about I'm Remarkable.
Okay, very good. All right. Thank you, Gio. I hope as many as possible can attend. We're hoping that everyone from our family that is wanting to attend with Gio for this will be able to get in. We think that will happen. But yeah, that's our hope. Okay. We have a special surprise. Remember, we've been talking about presentations and presentation skills. And so y'all saw I asked for some brave volunteers, and those brave volunteers are going to present anywhere from 1 minute to 10 minutes. Now, I have to do an ugly thing potentially. If you go over 10 minutes, I will do a force mute on you. So I will give you warnings too, but I hope you won't go over. And I didn't tell these guys what order they would go in. But I think I have a method in my madness. So Ashish, are you brave and ready? Excellent. Guy, can we give him control so he can share his screen and present?
Sure, Ashish. Okay.
Okay, hope I'm audible. Okay, great. Okay, so I'm Ashish, and I'll be giving you a short introduction over the new and highly popular machine learning algorithm, or deep learning algorithm, you can say, which is generative adversarial networks, also known as GANs. So GANs was initially devised by Ian Goodfellow in 2014, and it has increasingly been popular ever since. The applications of GANs, maybe I'll give you an overview with that as well. So let's just start with it. Can anyone, I will need some volunteers across the way. I think Tom, you would be the best one to start with. Can you guess any one of the person who is he or she, if you know anyone?
No.
No. Okay, so to everyone's surprise, these are not real persons, and these have been generated images of persons through GANs model. Can you even describe if these are real or fake? No one can. So these are the amazing results that GANs have been up to right now. And if you log on to the website, the person who does not exist, you'll find these people as multiple generated features. So the trend, as I said, the trend of GANs has been highly increased, and you can see I got some collections over of Google Trends over the last 5 to 6 years since GAN was introduced in US and UK. So this is why I guess you should be learning GANs, and let's go with it. So initially, GANs solved the problem of image generation, and image generation was initially tackled by variational autoencoders. So what are those? Just imagine that, okay, there are two blocks and I'm passing my image and I want to generate image which is similar to the image I'm passing. So let's say we have two right now here. So the encoder, what it does is it makes some complex mathematical computation, compresses that image to some vector, and the decoder does the part of decompression. So eventually when we train the algorithm, what happens is the decoder learns how to exactly decompress the algorithm. And in that way, the decoder learns. But what is the problem with this type of autoencoder is that it does not generate a sharp images. So if you can see the results of the 6 here, it generates images which are blurry, and it is not good. So that's why we need something good, and that's where Ian Goodfellow came up with. He started with image and generative adversarial networks. He came up with an idea, and if you just see the comparison between the two data sets, one was MNIST and the second was CIFAR data set. So in both the data set, we see that the first one, which is generated by GANs, is kind of sharp and more clear, while the second, which is generated by variation autoencoders, is kind of blurry and not exactly what we desire. So GANs kind of brought a new approach to image generation problem. And yeah, so as I said, Ian Goodfellow, along with the Montreal University researchers, introduced GAN. And GANs has two parts. One is generator and another one is discriminator. The task of generator, as by its name, is that to generate images. But which images? Which are similar to the data set. And let's say that, okay, the generator generates images which are similar to the data set. Let's say them as fake. And the discriminator images, let's say them as real. So, and the real data sets, images, let's say them as real. Okay, so the discriminator's task is to identify which image input to it is from the generator and which image input to it is from the discriminator, is from the real data set. So the task of the generator is basically to fool the discriminator. So it's like a minimax game where two players play and try to maximize their output and try to win the game. That's why, yeah, I'm sorry, as a swing. So if you can see the right side image, the left one is a fake image, and which may have fooled normal deep learning models, while the right one is a real image. So the task of what the deep learning models is that to identify which one is fake and real. Okay, so this is some complex architecture. We don't have to worry much about it. Just remember the blocks. Okay, so there is one generator. The task of generator is that, okay, I take a random input. I don't need some what the data is. I don't need to know what data I want to generate. I'll just take in random input and generate some samples. And the task of discriminator is, okay, now, so I'll generate some samples, and those samples I'll pass on to discriminator. Once I pass on the data to discriminator, the discriminator's challenge is that, okay, I am getting two images and I don't know which image is from generator. So that's the task of the discriminator. The discriminator identifies which image is from the generator and which image is from the real images of the data set. And the discriminator punishes the generator. Okay, this is I identified your image and you're doing it wrong. So generator tries to optimize itself along the way, and that's how they learn. And that's why it is called a minimax game. So if a discriminator is successful in fooling the generator, if the generator is successful in fooling the discriminator, then the discriminator is charged and penalized. So he tries to optimize his algorithms as well. Along the way, these two algorithms learn. So you don't need to understand much of it. So mathematically, okay, there's one generator and there is one discriminator. So a generator is input random noise, and the output of the generator is an image. So he is just taken Z, which is a random noise, and outputs a vector of image, matrix of image. Similarly, if you can see, convolution is something that we build up. So a convolution neural network, when you say it is it is kind of decreasing kind of view, and deconvolution neural network is increasing. So when you say that from a single point, the generator generates images from a small vector, it is deconvoluting, and that's why we say it as a deconvolution neural network. Similarly, a discriminator is a binary classifier. You just have to identify, okay, the image is not from generator or from generator. That's it. That's why it is a binary classifier. It takes an image and outputs either it is from the generator or discriminator, which is a probabilistic measure right now. Okay, the training of GANs. So as noted earlier, they train in a minimax game theory. So what a minimax game is, okay, there are two players and they try to optimize themselves. So The first layer is the generator. The generator generates some image, then pass that image to the discriminator. Discriminator's task is to identify, and then same way it keeps on going, repeating. So there are problems in the training because, as you say, the GANs is very hard to train. One of them is mode collapse. If a discriminator identifies, okay, there's one particular image that I'm good at, and the discriminator, if a generator identifies, there's one particular image that I'm good at, and the discriminator will always be fooled through that image. So this is somehow what it looks like. So this generated distribution, and if you can see the images generated, those are kind of similar, and the discriminator is getting fooled again and again. So there are many variants of GANs. The first one, which or we can say as GANs flavors. So there are many flavors of GANs, and the first one, which was popularized, was conditional GANs. So generally, GANs, what it does is it learns, but it does not know. It does not know what I am generating. So that's how GANs. So we have to channelize the output, and that's where conditional GANs came in picture. The conditional GAN had its novel way of approach in training, so that we can generate particular image which we actually desire. Okay, just a quiz question for everyone. Which are these images? Tom, Greg, Tom, anyone? Left one?
Okay, the left one, you mean, is it real or is it a fake?
Yeah, real or fake.
I would say,
If you have not seen it earlier.
I think the left one is fake and the right
Okay.
one is fake too.
Oh, that's correct. So you got it right. The left one was a zebra initially, which was generated by the initially image you saw. These are generated images by the generator, and these are the generated images by the disk. These are actual the dataset images, and this was possible through a cycle GAN flavor of GANs, which transfers the style from one object to another and to and fro, but preserves the content. So nothing is disturbed except the style, if you can observe. And that's how cycle GANs came in picture. And you must have seen Harry Potter. I know that there are many popular fans here out there. So you see there are portraits in Harry Potter everywhere, even in newspapers and everything, or even photo frame. And there people are moving out there. So, and these are dead people, sadly. But how awesome it would have been if you can actually see the movement of the people. And that's somehow I recently came up a post with this was it. So GANs have made it possible, and you can even see that even that people can move and show their expressions out there. Yeah, this was the introduction to GANs. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you.
What happened here? Excellent, by the way. I just got my screen in a weird mode. Hang on a minute. Does anyone, oh, there it goes. Great. Does anyone have questions about the presentation? Yes, Manpreet, it looks like you do.
I don't have question related to actually presentation, but something related to that. Do you believe that we generally use scans in terms of pictures? So could there be any way that we can use scans to generate text even, given a text, a
Yes.
similar type
So
of text?
yeah, so I have been reading some articles on the similar way, and I think my first introduction to this channel was on the similar note that as well, that I have read a few articles that we can generate conversations through GANs. So a natural language processing model can be implemented to generate conversations through GANs. And that was one step, but my kind of intent is to identify if that GANs can be used in a relational database where the CSV data can be exploited and generated through GANs. Yeah. Yes, Jonathan. You're on mute, I guess.
Yeah,
Oh,
thank
no,
you. Sorry,
I-
yeah, it was
Okay.
really interesting, and especially that the last slide you showed about taking the photos and showing the people moving. And just wondering, I'm not sure if you know of the Wombo app where people can take a selfie and then it shows put a track and it puts your face moving or syncing to the singer that the selfie's gone over. Would that be similar usage there? What it is but that's in that app?
Yeah, so that similar to what you said. A few months earlier, some posts have been very popular that the presidents of United States have been like channelized to do something that a person is doing on the sideways. So that was really possible, and it is possible to, I think it is SR GAN. So the flavor of GAN, which has been successful in doing this, is SR GAN. I have to confirm the name though, but it has been popular through possible through GANs as well. Karen?
Ashish, that was a really great presentation. It's shocking how clear some of those images are. It's just really shocking. And given what you mentioned, what you said about how the machines can generate the images, plus how they can begin to generate text in this age of fake, put whatever you want to put at the end of it. I'm just wondering, like, what is the implication? Because somebody could be thinking that they're in a Zoom having a conversation with a group, and yet each image could be a faked image. Each conversation and response could be a faked response. Exactly. And so what does that actually mean? What are the implications of it?
Yeah, so if you have, I don't know if everyone has seen it, but there was one popular movie by Leonardo DiCaprio, which was Catch Me If You Can. And in that movie, he was basically fooling the bank through fake checks. I wonder if something really happened in that way, and bank had the power to identify if that check to it is a fake or not. And given that power, so the discriminator we get through this model, no, it's not that only that the generator is trained, but the discriminator we get through this model is highly trained, and it is able to identify such small what we can say errors in images, fake images, that it is highly confident even through normal classifiers we built. Gath? I'm sorry, I may have misunderstood the order.
Ashish, give me to the end because I have a small announcement about this. It's not about the question. So give me to the end.
Okay. Greg?
So this is I followed a couple videos about GANs and convolutional neural network. I just want to make sure I understand it right. So GANs are there to help the model train, right? So is that the end goal of convolutional neural network? So it prepares those fake images and helps it identify if it's real or not, and based on the loss function, it readjusts itself to get good at generating or predicting what that image is, or classifying what that image is, right?
Okay, so if I am the same page, let me confirm with a question with you. So if to be in the broad perspective, you are asking the purpose of convolution neural network in GANs, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you if you are aware of, convolution neural network is used as a discriminator, and it is not always the case in GANs. So there are many flavors of GANs which do not use a convolution neural network. They use some other different classifiers to identify the image is real or fake. But there's it is the case that, okay, you have to have a good discriminator in order to achieve good results. The reason I'm saying this is that because if you see a two-player chess game, unless you have a good opponent, so the discriminator is you, and the generator is you, and the discriminator is the opponent. Unless you have a good opponent, you won't be able to learn a good chess. You will just stay stuck in a particular level at a beginner level if you start playing the game with a beginner level player. So if challenging the opponent, the discriminator becomes, the generator tries to learn its way through it. And there have been some cases, as I said, there are two problems in GAN's training. One is the mode collapse problem, where the generator identifies something crisp in the discriminators. So there have been flaw in the discriminator, and I'm trying to use that same flaw again and again, and the discriminator can't do anything. And there was second training problem, which is non-convergence. So somehow the generator is unable to do anything. So he is unable to generate good images, and it just does not converge at last. So that's why we need to set up the level very skillfully of the discriminator as well. Train the discriminator in advance so that it does not get in a mode collapse fashion. So something like this. So there are few training tricks in GANs as well. If I get a chance, I'll share that as well. I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, I understand that it's going to depend on the use case, whether you want to have GANs or discriminator. So thank you. I'll pass to next person who wants to ask a question.
Kalyan, hello. You're on mute.
Oh, I'm really sorry. Yeah, so that was a very nice presentation. It was pretty straightforward and crisp. So my question is, how should we evaluate GANs and when should we use them exactly?
Okay. So if I say that the evaluation, let's start with the evaluation. So GANs can be evaluated based on the performance of the discriminator. And so it is not that, okay, I have a discriminator which is highly good. So in that case, the generator won't be able to, in that case, if I get a 99% discriminator accuracy, in that case, the generator won't be able to generate good images that can fool discriminator. So that's something every GANs model is facing problem with. I can say that there is no ending point to a GAN that has something definite. So if I say that, okay, I trained the model for 1000 epochs, I cannot say if that is good or best, but the way you get the generated images, if you can even yourself see the generated images and then identify if it is going well. Finally, it converges and does not improve. So if the maximum you train GANs, the better the results are. So it's not that, okay, you go on training again and again and then it overfits. It's not never a condition with GANs.
Cool. Thanks.
And I guess second question, the applications. So if you have seen it already that Adobe Photoshops and even many movies where AI tools are used. So I've recently attended some workshop where in European movies, they were using some AI tools to generate the background of the image, so fit the person into a background. If you know already that, okay, there is some green background at the backside where the movies are shooted, and finally what they do is they merge those backgrounds as well with the actual photo clip. So that is one small use case where we can use it. Secondly, if like what I see in the future is that, okay, I know a script and I know a person is dead, okay, and if you want to get a movie created by some get a movie created by let's say Tom Hanks in a young mood. So if you can get enough images, get a model of those, generate a 3D model of the Tom Hanks and create a movie out of it, even that is not far, but I can see from the pace at which GANs is going. I hope that answers your question.
Yep. Thanks.
Thank you.
Let's take Guy's question, and then we need to go to the feedback.
Okay. In fact, it's about the GANs. It's a kind of just a guidance for our friends. In the deep learning.ai on the Coursera, there is a specialization called deep learning, from deeplearning.ai. So from there, you can get some use cases related to the style transfer for the images and for the scripts. That mean you can write like Shakespeare, for example. So this is one place. I think it's nice specialization to go through. And the second place, there is specialization related to the GANs. It's a new one. I think it's a couple of months only. And it's great also. So for our family, if anyone is, let's say, connected to Coursera and he want to go for this deeplearning.ai, they have these two specialization. It's really nice.
Ashish,
Yeah.
I personally liked your talk a lot. I don't know why everyone else didn't like it as much as I liked it. No, I'm joking. I kind of wanted to, you know, that little character that they do as the sacrificial animal on Madagascar. And then later they're talking about the animals from the zoo and they say, well, compared to how much I loved your talk, everyone else hated it. No, I really thought it was awesome. And, you know, it's a positive sign, Ashish, when the time it takes you to answer questions goes longer than your actual talk. So that was really good. I just have one question. What do you feed the generator? What kind of input do you feed it? Is it just some random gobbledygook?
Anything, any random. So how it learns, I'll just give you one quick line. So if I say that I take some mold, any random, if I say I have to make something out of clay, and I don't have to have a box clay or roll clay or something to make a chair or something out of a clay. I can take any random thing out of that clay, any random block of clay, and mold it into something that I really want to. I just have to learn how to mold it, and it does not matter what is inside that.
That's a great illustration. Thank you. In fact, Ashish, yet again, not only did you give a great presentation, but the way you visually use words to answer a question. Okay, guys, you got to help me here. Ashish was brave enough to put this presentation together, and we need to give him some constructive feedback, and I've got nothing. Oh, Giovanna, did you have a question or did it get answered?
I was clapping.
Oh, okay. I missed the hand signal. Okay, guys, he was brave enough to do this and we want to help him get better. I'm at a loss. So did he say or Let's nail him for that if he did. Dang it, don't do that. I don't know. I can't even, I was so wrapped up in how good your visuals were and how, you know, I got wrapped up in the topic to where I couldn't focus on what can I do to help him improve. So that might have been part of the problem. So now we have some hands up. I'll take back control here. And then Gary Gregoire Coquillo, yes, please.
So I'm a big fan of keep it simple, stupid, and Ashish did that for me. So I can get lost in translation if it gets too technical. So thank you for that. And the last question that you answered, Tom, about I'm very visual. So whenever I see somebody who's able to answer by an example, that helps me visualize why X is like this and things like that. Kudos to you, man. So you have the ability to connect the bridge for me and guys like me. So thank you.
Nothing negative, Greg?
Well, I don't know, Ashish. I mean, thank you for answering all my questions right. And this is what I'm thanking you for.
Thank you.
Yeah, he definitely nailed it. Okay, Guy.
Okay. In fact, to be honest, nothing negative. Only one point I want to highlight. Ashish, you did a great job. Let's say even I think I'm able to be totally ignorant about anything. So even if I have idea about the GANs and how it's work, when I listen to you, I can forget everything and focus with you. So from this point of view, you did it in the great way. You also understand our community. You understand where and what you are going to speak about. In 10 minutes, that's perfect. That's the most important point. The negative point, it's you are in your safe zone.
I'm sorry.
You didn't in your safe zone. You didn't choose something challenging for you. something that you like it, and you are able to speak about it until morning, no issues about that. So this is the only negative point.
Yeah, I get. Yeah, I'll come up with next new topics that are out of my comfort zone, and
Okay,
definitely Tom will provide me a platform for it.
excellent. Jonathan?
Yeah, it is nothing negative or in that sense, but what I liked is that you first introduced the terminology, and you stayed consistent with the terminology from the beginning. So that was really good, and it kept you engaged because you already explained those acronyms, those abbreviations at the beginning, and you could follow that through. And one particular term I really enjoyed is called the different branches, so to say. You called them flavors, and that was really good. That got you, oh, flavors, what does this mean? So that got you again more into, okay, what's coming up next. So that was from my point of view, that was really good and kept you engaged.
Thank you. Actually, GANs are like those are actually called flavors in the community as well. So
Yeah.
that's why I prefer.
For those of you that still have your hands up for him, I just want to ask you to go quick in consideration of the next presenter. And I'm going to offer my closing comments now, Ashish. I'm going to keep you accountable to take this on the road. Do you know what I mean by that? You need to get, the only way to get better at this presentation now, because everybody loves you and you're a superstar, you got to keep giving this presentation. Be open to refactoring it. Have a 5-minute version, you've got your 10-minute version, have your 20-minute version, have your hour-long version. This was really that good where going ahead and make a name for yourself. And I'm going to quote my good buddy, Lewis Owen. It's not the best data scientists that get the opportunities. It's the most visible. But one thing I've learned by my friends pushing me to be more visible, Ashish, and that's why I'm pushing you to be more visible. The more visible you try to be, you're trying to give to the community, it helps you grow a lot too. So that's my only feedback. And let me listen to the others with questions, and then we'll go to the next presenter.
Jaya?
Okay, Ashish, I think the presentation you made is a very complex topic, and I think you nailed it down in 10 minutes. Is that 10 minutes? Yeah. So you nailed it down really, really well. So that's amazing. And putting all those information there, that's amazing. One thing I would add is maybe at the end of the presentation, perhaps have like a use case for GANs, like what's used for. Maybe people can kind of like tie in everything together. So, oh, so it's been used for this. So now I get it, movies. Okay. So I think you answered it in the question. I think someone posed the question, but I think ending the slide with a good use case of what it's used for, then people can connect all the dots together. Otherwise, amazing presentation. You did a fantastic job.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, Ashish, again, thank you. This was beyond my expectations, by the way. So keep writing posts on it. By the way, you've got, I will help you, but I actually think Manpreet surpasses me in knowledge about how to maximize your exposure in LinkedIn posting. And then also Ayushi, reach out to both of those sisters of yours to get advice on how to maximize your post coverage. And then Giovanna has one additional announcement for us before she has to go off and do her studies. Go on ahead, Gio.
Thank you, Tom. No, I just wanted to tell you that I'm going to, in this moment, this is the form. And remember, this form is just the registration to know who is going to be part of the workshop, because we have just some slots. So please, just if you can attend the workshop, submit the form, and we are going to confirm your slot on Tuesday. I'm going to send you an email telling you, okay, you are in the workshop. If you are out of the number of, if you are not in this workshop, don't worry. I'm going to send you an email telling you that you are in the waiting list, and we are going to form another group. So don't worry if you cannot be in this workshop. We are going to do another in a few weeks. Okay. Thank you so much in advance for filling the form.
Excellent. Thanks, sister. Okay. By the way, in case that confuses you, I mean, I know Gio and I look like brother and sister, but we really just adopted each other, but it's a very serious thing too. And Sue completely accepts her as her sister too. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I agree. Okay. That was so amazing, Ashish. Okay. Now, I don't know how many of you guys have been with us from the beginning, but this brave young lady who's going next in the next presentation, I can't say enough good about her because she was the first one to prove that integrated mentoring was better than just Tom mentoring. And I always believed it would be. Navina, are you ready, honey?
Yes, Bob.
Okay. Now, would you be willing to go on camera?
Uh, Actually not. I'm somewhere outside, so I'm so sorry for that.
No, that's okay. A guy's going to give you control and you can take over.
Okay.
I think he may have stepped away for a biological need. Oh, no, there we go. Great. Okay, you're good to go, Naveen.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Firstly, thanks, Tom, for giving me this opportunity. Like, though I have not attended many sessions, I'm going to talk about like what I have learned from the sessions that I have attended, and which all are mostly aware of. So these are just my learnings, and I hope this will be helpful for someone who is new to the sessions. So I'm going to talk about public speaking, resume tips, interview tips, and some LinkedIn tips that I have learned from these sessions. So public speaking or networking, like this was my first question in the sessions that Tom was talking about. So the question was like how to be confident in public speaking or while networking. So Giovanna has answered very nicely for this. So I just want to go through some points that she has pointed out. So always practice, practice, and practice. Always practice until you think you're perfect in it. Like practice whatever you want to talk before you talk to them. And write down the notes on what you're going to talk about. Like this helps you in arranging the order you want to talk to. And record your speech before the actual session so that you can hear your own speech and find out the gaps, and then again know like where you are lacking it. So and get feedback and be open to the feedback always, so that you will learn from it, and like always try to learn from the feedbacks rather than getting disappointed. And next, coming to resume tips, like always follow the STAR technique, which is situation, task, action, and result. Like talk about the situation, and then the task you have done, the action you have taken, and the result you have got from the action. So just talking about your work doesn't really help. uh, keeping them in STAR technique helps recruiter understand your work more. uh, your resume should not have every work experience, like highlight only accomplishments and skills that are most relevant to the job. So do not put everything, put only the relevant things. Don't write something that you aren't perfect at. You should know every point you have written. So always prefer one page resume, or at most 2 pages, but definitely not more than that, because HR will not have time to go through each and every point. So be concise, and if you truly have enough relevant and important experience to showcase, then you can go for more than one page. But try to be have one page, especially the like freshers and all. Yeah. So use as many facts or figures and numbers as you can in your bullet points. Like quantifying your accomplishments allows hiring manager to picture the level of work or responsibility that you needed to achieve. Always try to have some numbers in the resumes. And having an online portfolio is very important and also can ease the process of recruitment. Next, coming to LinkedIn tips. Uh, Choose the right profile picture. Like whenever you are connected to someone on LinkedIn, profile picture is what people look at first. So it is always good to have a professional one. And the description, like coming to headline, the description at the top of your profile page need not be just a job title. Like it can be anything about your interests or achievements. Use the headline to showcase more about yourself. Um, and the about section, never leave your about section blank. uh, I myself personally have seen several profiles with nothing in their about section, or most of them will have just 2 to 3 lines. But ensure to fill the about section. About section is your chance to tell your own story. And post regularly and consistently on LinkedIn. Sharing is always great. Sharing relevant content with your network grows your network more. So appear in your connections LinkedIn feeds in a way that adds value to them. Uh, and yeah, likes and comments. Never expect the likes and comments. Instead, think how it helps them. Like if you post anything, uh, just ensure that it helps someone there, but do not expect likes and comments. Always be willing to learn and be open to all the feedback or constructive criticism from people. And most importantly, give credit to the source from where you get the help. If you are taking content from somewhere, give source to that, give credit to that source. That's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Navina. Awesome. Okay, let's go. Let's treat her like she just gave us a presentation. So let's ask her questions first. Use the hand raise feature. Super helpful. And Navina, I'm not presenting. You are in charge here still for the question. So Navina, take Hugo's question, please.
Hi, Navina. Can you hear me,
Hi.
everyone? Okay, thank you very much. Such a very brief presentation, and yet with a lot of information for everyone to learn from. What I wanted to quickly ask is on some people's LinkedIn profile page, under the About section, you get to see people just write about themselves, like in first person. I have done this, I have done that, and such and such and such as a form of accomplishment. Why certain people's LinkedIn profile pages, what you see is a form of description. It's like they are describing themselves. Oh, Mr. So and so has social experience in this. He has been able to do this. He has been able to do that. Both of them, are they okay? Because for me, my LinkedIn profile, I just describe what I've been able to accomplish. Just say, I've done this, I've done that, I have experience in this, I have experience in that. I don't say, oh, Ugo has this, Ugo has that. I don't know if you understand my question. I want to know both of them, which is more preferable for a LinkedIn About profile page.
Like I didn't really understand the question. What are the two different things you're asking about?
If I
Yeah.
may
I can
just
I
chip
can
in a
pick
bit.
that up. I
Okay,
can pick
Ngozi,
that
Then,
up.
go ahead. Go
yeah,
ahead,
I don't
Ngozi.
know if anyone, okay, so what I was saying
Yes,
is that in some, so you can, does someone understand my question?
yes, Ugo, I get
Yeah,
you. If you
yeah.
allow me to summarize it in one word,
Please
I
go
would
ahead,
say
please go ahead.
active and passive voice. So
Good.
one is
Yeah,
written in
in
the
third
active
person.
voice. Yeah,
Yeah.
one is written in like the third person, like I
Exactly.
am this or Ugo is this. Which one works
Exactly.
best? Yes.
Okay, I'll just take the answer. I'm not, Greg can say every other person is on LinkedIn anyway, but I think for LinkedIn, a lot of times we are trying to present ourselves and create personal brands. So it's, even when you're writing posts, you speak in first person. And when you go to read about someone, I expect the person to speak to me, not somebody else to describe the person, which is what speaking in third person seems to be like. I am the person describing the person that I'm reading about. I prefer when I go to a profile, I prefer when people speak in first person. It makes it more relatable to me. It creates a picture of the person, a stronger mental image of that person in my mind as I read the profile. So I always prefer first person about pages on LinkedIn.
Yeah, but by the way, great presentation, Navina. So great summary of all this stuff we've been discussing so far, or the time I've spent through the mentorship sessions. So very well captured, and definitely is providing a lot of people some guidance. And for me, it's a great, it's an assurance that I've been doing all of those, and they've served me. Just short answer for you, Ugo. You don't want to. It's either where you want to be, right? What perception you want to communicate to your connections or potential followers, et cetera, et cetera. Do you want to give them the impression that you are using a virtual assistant who will filter all the questions that people are getting to them? In this case, speak in the third person. In your profile, you're doing. Oh, I'm sorry. Not who's the question? The person who asked the question, not Ugo. I don't think that's you, Ugo. Wait, you guys are both named Ugo?
No,
It's my brother from Nigeria, but I guess I'm going to go full Gary Gregoire Kokilo right now. So I'm just going to adopt.
Okay.
Something like that right away.
Okay. Sorry about that. But so in this case, you could speak in the third person, right? But typically, as Ngazi said, you want to give the person that feeling that you are the person using your active voice. So it's up to you. What I've seen really is people with like large amount of they're like public figures. Typically, they'll speak in the third party. So in their profile. So you could tell that possibly it's not them managing their own accounts. So I would advise to go the active way. So.
Okay, guys,
Okay,
I just so you know, I want to hear you that want to say something, but I want to ask y'all to use the hand raise feature. It just makes it easier for both Navina and whoever's moderating. Thank you for that. Okay, let's hear from Manpreet, because I think, she put it down. Okay, you go.
Because he told my name, so I put it down.
Very good. Go, Manpreet.
Actually, I had been avoiding to write my about you section for a very long time. And when I finally planned to write it, I visited few people's about you page, how do they write, what do they write, and I wrote it in third person, and I find it quite good because it's me. If a person reads, they know that somebody is explaining about my work and experience rather than I doing it, because my eye is already seen on my post and LinkedIn. So that's why I wrote in third person. It's everyone's opinion. They can do what they want.
Excellent. And Navina, I should be letting you be in control. I actually feel embarrassed that you felt the need to raise your hand. So you should be in control still.
That's totally okay.
Okay. Can you did you have a question, or do you want to take Hugo's question?
Yeah, I want to take his question.
Excellent.
So sorry that I didn't understand your question before earlier. So according to me, like I have attended a class called Managerial Communications. In that class, they have told me that writing like a third person is completely professional. Like if you want to be professional, then you have to write it as a like Navina is doing that, Navina is doing this, Navina is this, Navina is that, like that. But if you want to be normal or just to showcase yourself to everyone, then you can write it as I am doing this, I'm doing that, like that. So that is what I have learned.
And yeah.
Okay, excellent. Now, what I'd like to do now, guys, I know this is hard because we all love Navina and we appreciate her courage, but if we're going to give her value, we need to give her some constructive feedback too. So what would you share with her, guys? I'll take control now. Jaya, will you go first?
Yes, Navina, your presentation is short and sweet, and you know, in PowerPoints, less is always more. So that rule of thumb is always important to note instead of putting a lot of text in there. Given the fact that the audience don't know what the audience is, can be anyone, right? The colors on your PowerPoint presentation does matter, but understanding who you're speaking to or the company that you're speaking to, knowing their color scheme is good. So just bear that in mind when you are speaking to an audience at a company. What are the colors that they use in their website, and emulate that onto your presentation. But this is this is integrated, so that's okay. But anyway, the colors you chose were great. So yeah, but just keep that in mind when you go out to present. That's all. Thanks.
No, that's great feedback, actually. And I've heard a lot of things around that. Greg, please.
Yes, so in this case, I'm going to pull a Jaya. I really love their feedback for Ashi's presentation. What would be good too is, Navina, if you probably present a couple use cases where you've leveraged some of these learnings to get you from point A to point B, would be good too, to showcase, how a certain technique that you portrayed in your presentation helped you gain more exposure, or helped you with, getting a key connection on LinkedIn, or help you get a job, et cetera, et cetera. That's great illustration. So I'm a big fan of those type of illustrations and presentations that showcases that the things that you're teaching or the things that you're sharing are in fact working. And using you as an example is a very, very great connector for the folks consuming that presentation.
Excellent. Guy, can you go next, please?
In fact, my comment, it was look like negative, but when I think about it, I think the thing that I didn't like in the presentation, it's the most powerful thing, because I found that the presentation, it's summary, it's for somebody just like who's studying this and just want to remember. But in fact, this is our family, this is our session. Everybody here is know what we passed through. So in fact, this is powerful. She studied the audience and she know what she is going to say. So from this point of view, yes, she is correct. But the same presentation, if you are going to present it outside of this family, I think, yes, it will be, there is a lot of gaps. Now, I hope this is clear. There is something I found it's, yes, there is a lot of gaps, it's not covered. Whatever we are discussed about it, whatever we are suggested, whatever we are learned together, it's not there 100%. But for our family, for this kind of audience, it's more than enough, because all of us was there. So we know what we are looking for. We need a quick summary about it, and we got it. So this is, so you can tell me if you, let's say you want to do that, or it comes like this.
I want to add, guys, to support what you're saying. I sent Navina some private comments, and again, she's presenting to her family, and we have to remember that. And yes, I see her comment there. I think I should share. I said, you needn't be apologetic. Just go into your presentation. You are presenting to your family right now, which is great, but you need to pretend to be presenting outside your family. And I'm sharing that with her in front of all of you so that you do the same. When you give a practice presentation to us, don't pretend it's us. Pretend it's someone outside of us. And I know we are safe, but you got to pretend you're out there in the wild is what I mean. But good comments, Guy. And I know it's kind of, that was very constructive, but it's kind of hard to share that stuff. You go. Let's hear from you, buddy. And you
I
go,
think Yogo just he forgot to lower hand. That's all, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And I can control that real quick. He may have stepped away from, okay, very good. Navina, was that helpful, dear?
Yes, yes, definitely. Thank you everyone
Excellent.
for whoever has given me the feedback. I'll try to develop that.
And you did, you real quick, you did good, Navina. The same advice I gave to Ashish, I give to you. Write posts. Maybe give this talk elsewhere. Keep developing this. I thought you did fine. I thought you did good. Yes, Guy.
Magdi.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Although,
Wait, Magdi, just for practice, will you please raise your digital hand? It'll put you
my
at the
digital,
front of
you
the
know,
screen.
I always do my digital, my physical hands, and I'm always missed
No, that's
last
okay.
weeks. Anyway, yeah, I had a question as well, but I will combine my feedback. And Greg and guys basically told quite what I wanted to say, that it is very important to know your audience. So you have to adjust your presentation according to that. And if it's outside the family and the community, it means that you have to start with an introduction, that why are you presenting this topic and why are you talking about it. So my feedback is more about the structure. Here I would like to use only one keyword: storytelling. You know, storytelling is really powerful. So even you have your bullet points, it is very nicely structured how you made with your bullet points. It was simple. We understand because we were here and we were part of this mentoring. But if you take it outside, they will not understand without a little bit more details what you have to bring in. And part of the storytelling, I would say, and this is kind of a conclusion at the end, what I would suggest you, that yeah, bring your own personal experience in. So what I mean here, for example, that even you didn't attend all these mentorings, but what you presented with the bullet points, they were really really a lot of details about what we discussed, or a lot of information. But you can always refer at the end that, okay, I was there a couple of mentoring, and what I learned from, and what it make me change, for example, or think differently, what it brings as a new perspective to me. And for example, my question would be, okay, what was your aha moment? So were there anything what made you realize that, yeah, you are totally off track, for example, or it was just like an aha moment, what I said. So it is always nice for the audience to hear your own personal filtering, what it meant to be in these mentoring sessions, what it brought you to your life, for example. That would be nice. So it is, you know, it gives a structure that you start somewhere, you go up and down, and at the end there is a conclusion, a recap, because the whole thing is a recap, obviously, of the sessions. But at the end, it is your own individual filter, what you got from these sessions, and people can relate to that and resonate with that, and that's why it is powerful when you give a presentation. So that would be my
Oh,
suggestion.
Magdi, I'm so glad you shared that. And we just want to remind everyone here, storytelling is the king in any presentation you give. Storytelling is the king. I'm not sure I've said it clear enough. Storytelling is the king. Okay, Anmoldeep, we're eager to hear from you, brother.
Hello, family. This is the first meeting, so I'm not sure that what will happen, but please listen to me for once. I have something to share. I attended this sessions from Toastmasters. We have a club in college, and there I learned this technique of trying to deliver your content in a more structured way. It is called a sandwich technique. What you essentially do is you give some kind of brief introduction of your topic, that what you are going to cover in just one sentence or two, that creates the mental image, and then you illustrate your point. And before you conclude, you wrap up all the things and you create a concise line of whatever is the key takeaway for the audience, and then you end. So this is called a sandwich technique. The content is in the middle, the start is small, the end is small.
Yes, that was excellent. I'm really glad. In fact, Greg's taught us that too. And that's something we just have to remember. By the way, Gio's saying thank you to all of us. She got off really quick, so she wasn't seeing all your buys. This was really good. So Navina, I really do hope you'll keep giving this and take this feedback, make it better, give it some more. And then Navina, when you do present it somewhere else, invite some of us so we can continue to give you loving feedback, because we are your biggest fans. Without your bravery, our first session might not have proved, so quickly what we could become by being more together. Ashish, you have your hand up.
Hi, I just wanted to add, yeah, Navina had a great presentation here, and the topic, it was really, really great. One just thing that for everyone is that everyone is pointing out that we did some bravery work, but it was never possible without the comfort that Tom, Greg, Gayat, and everyone else provided through the last few sections. That it really feels like a family out here, and we were never like afraid of doing any platform or bravery thing here. That's it. Thank you.
Hey, I have Manpreet. So guys, we had some other presentations. What I'm going to suggest is that we wait for next week so we don't rush it. But I want to say something, and please don't take this morbidly. I had, so I have my kids' friends are like pseudo kids to me, surprise, surprise. And one of the families, the dad died in his sleep recently. I think if he wasn't my age, he was only a little older. Now, why am I bringing this up? I am super healthy for my age. I'll be 60 in September. But guys, I used to worry, okay, what's going to happen to Marcin? Dude, brother, welcome. Oh my, we are so honored. Guys, this is a quiet giant. You all need to follow and connect with Marcin. He is a dear, now all of you are a dear family, but Marcin's like our Titan brother to Gaith and I. So yeah, he was one of the ones that got me over the hump with Transformers. But let me go back to my morbid topic. It's because of Gaith and Manpreet and Giovanna and many of you. If I happen to die young, and it'll probably be this new puppy that kills me, by the way, but in case I die young, I'm not worried. You guys are insurance to keep the family going. I just needed to say that because it dawned on me, if I'd died, I'm not sure my family knows how to get into my account. I'm not sure Gaith knows how to get a hold of Sue and find out if something's wrong. I think Gio might know how to get a hold of Sue. But I'm going to set something up just in case, because look at Steve Jobs. He died at 56. I'm 59. Look at my friend that I was just talking about. So I really do think I'm going to live to 120, and you guys are going to get tired of me before you lose me. But you guys, I'm asking you, you know everything I'm doing is free, except the textbook that Gaith and I are writing, because PAC's going to make us charge for it. But the point is, I've asked you all to pay it forward, and I know you will. I'm not worried about you doing that, but I want you to believe something else. I know a lot of you think I'm an exceptional mentor, and Manpreet said it best. Tom's not necessarily the best mentor in the world, but he's a really great learner. Now, what I'm saying is, you've seen my growth models on Saturday. You see I'm a passionate learner. That's true. Guys, I need you to believe when you're 59 or even younger than that, you will be better mentors than me. There's 37 people here right now, counting me. There will be 36 integrated mentoring communities when you're my age. I just want y'all to believe that. Know that this is a movement. It doesn't need to stop. Now, next week we'll lead off. This is getting great traction. I think this is helping everyone because Navina, you were brave and you presented. Ashish, you were brave and you presented. But it was hearing the feedback, both positive and constructive. That was the real value for everyone. So, by the way, y'all should see Manpreet and I behind scenes. I can be pretty brutal with her. Damn it, Manpreet. You know, but she knows, yes, Dad. So anyway, it's always constructive though. But next week we'll lead off with Manpreet, and I think we might let her give 2 presentations. And then let's see, Hitesh, are you present? I'm looking for your name. I try to know everyone.
So
Is
I
Hitesh-
can ask for a vote. So do you want a very data science topic to talk about, a very, you know, perspective topic to be talk about? So I have two topics to talk about. So I have 2 PPTs presentations ready. So whatever you say, I'll present it.
I know what everybody wants to say. When someone asks me an or question, my favorite answer to it is yes, meaning I say, because Manpreet busts her butt for the community about more than anyone I know, we say more Manpreet. Let her give one, and then we give her feedback, and we let her give a second one, because she's been very well controlled the last few weeks to let others talk. No, I'm joking. She's always good that way. But yeah, thank you, Magdi. I agree. Magdi is the real leader. So she said both. We have to do both because Magdi said both. Okay, that's awesome. So you know what the good thing is about having a good cutoff point this early? Bigger after party. So let's all take a good bio break, and we'll join the after party link in about 1 to 5 minutes. I think anyone can start it, but I'll start it and I'll go take a bio break so it's open. But we'll start next week with Manpreet. And it's easier to say bye when I know